Welcome in another edition of Inside the AF1, a production of Rebound Off the Net. I'm your host, Joshua Cox. Full weekend of games this week as we enter the heat of the playoff race. We'll talk about those games later on and give you our picks for all four games this weekend. But first off, we got a special guest. We are joined by the rising star. He is the quarterback of the Nashville Cats, Tyler Kulka. Tyler, appreciate your time, man.
How's it going, Josh? Good to be here.
Yeah, great. Good to hear you, man. Let's talk a little about your football journey. When did you start playing football, and when did you know you were going to be a quarterback?
So I started playing football actually in middle school. So I always wanted to play football. When I grew up, I always was watching my dad's old high school highlight tape. And so I fell in love with football at an early age. But, where I'm from in Michigan, there was no leagues that didn't play on Sundays. And so, my parents and me felt like it was the right decision for me to, give my time to God on Sundays, keep the Sabbath day holy. And then, I'll get to play football later on. And so I actually grew up playing hockey. That's actually where I wear 17. Big Red Wings fan from Detroit. Grew up playing hockey, and then in middle school, the games, are on Wednesdays, and then, in high school, it's Fridays and stuff like that. So I was finally able to play the game that I love, and and it was a blast, man. I love football. I've always wanted to play it. So.
Yeah. Was your dad a quarterback too?
Yeah, I mean it's so cool. I mean, I want to play receiver just like my dad, and my dad was like, "You should play quarterback. You have a good arm." I played baseball growing up too, so I was like, all right, I'll try it out. And took a real liking to it. I was taller when I was in middle school, and so I could see over the line at that age. Was just the one that could see over the line, and then progressing, it was just I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with footwork. I fell in love with putting the zip on the ball and fitting it in tight windows. And I think my favorite part of it is being able to control the game. To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about, I read online, like you weren't the most highly touted quarterback coming out of high school. You went NAIA to the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Tell us a little about how you ended up there and a little bit about your playing journey there.
Well, that was kind of out of nowhere. I bless, all blessings from God on that one. Before my senior year of high school, my plan was actually to go to BYU. I went to the BYU camp and, got an offer from there, or not an offer, but I was planning on PWO, and then went on my mission for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. And when I was there, the coaches that I knew from that camp ended up moving over to Virginia. And so, then it was like, well, I'll just try and walk on at school. I get there, and then, 2 months before I came home, God really blessed me with an opportunity. Lawrence Tech was bringing back football for the first time since World War II. And so I was in there. They brought in 45 guys who started off, and was able to play there for 5 years and had a great career there, and built the program from the ground up, which was just a really cool experience for sure.
Yeah, I know professionally you played in the X League, which is in Japan. What was it like living in Japan, playing in Japan? And I think you were a 2-time MVP there. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
I mean, yeah, Japan was awesome. I was quarterback. I was leading passer both years I was there in Japan, and had a great time over there. The food was probably my favorite part, as well as the football. Football was awesome. Football's great anywhere you go, though. So, but the people were awesome. Very respectful. It's honor's a big thing over in Japan. That was really cool. And so and then playing ball, man, they got some really good, talented players in Japan, and I really learned a lot from those guys. And I hope they learned a lot from me too.
Yeah. Are the rules any different in Japan? The game any different? What does that look like?
So the rules are the same as college. They actually based it just off the NCAA. So it's the same rules as NCAA. 1 foot in bounds, that stuff like that. So it's the same as college.
Yeah, you ended up with the Nashville Cats this year. I know you started out the season as their starting quarterback. What does it look like? How did you end up in Nashville? And tell us a little about that process.
Long story short, I actually came back from Japan. I was, going to play for the Alabama Beavers in IFA, and this opportunity kind of got thrown on my desk. I just literally was planning, okay, I'm going to go to the Alabama Beavers in May. And then, then later on, it was out of nowhere. I got a call from my agent, and he got in contact with Coach Terry Foster and said, hey, man, I need a Q. And so I came in there, me and Rakeem Cato, and, had a great time together, really learned a lot from each other. And, he taught me the ropes of the arena game, as well as, Coach Payton and Coach Arbette and Coach Foster. So, and then it was a blast. From there, it was just learning the game, because, I feel like, I have a really good skill set of throwing the football and understanding defenses. So for me, it was just, quickening up that process and playing the arena game. And I've really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. What were your first impressions of arena football? Did you have knowledge of it before? What did that kind of look like for you?
So, yeah, I mean, I I came out of college, that was one of the opportunities I had to go play arena for a couple teams. And then I ended up going to Japan. So I watched the game a little bit. I learned the game a little bit, but playing it is way different than just watching it and whatnot. But, for me, I love the Kurt Warner story. I've definitely watched that movie over 100 times. It's a great movie. So that's really cool for me. And then, my parents always say it's really fun to watch because it looks like you're just playing backyard football out there. So it's obviously, a little different. And I would say there's a lot more intricacies and it's a lot faster than just playing backyard football. But it's really fun. It's really fun. And, I really enjoy it.
I tell people it's like football and a boxing match all together. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. On a hockey rink, which is what I grew up playing. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What do you think about the Colcomania? How does that sound to you? Where did that start?
I love it. AF1 fan zone hooked me up, and they hooked me up, and it's a great name. I love it. I'm running with it just like everybody else. We check in warm-ups, and everybody's like, oh yeah, give them their number. 8 checking in, 7 checking in. I'm like, Colcomania checking in. So I've been really growing a liking to it, and I think we got some things going for the fans that I think they're really going to start enjoying Colcomania.
Yeah. I was talking to your old CEO a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about it. So it was really cool. So
yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. What were kind of some of the challenges you've had adjusting to the arena game and playing quarterback in the game? What does that look like for you?
I think it's just the speed. Coming in, it was like, everything is half. So, drops, moving, throwing, everything is in half. Yardage is in half. Like the routes that we run. So it's getting used to that. For me, it was. Taking a 3-step drop is almost like a quick 1, or taking a 5-step drop, to throw a corner route is a quick 3. So getting in the footwork stuff and learning that stuff and learning the intricacies of the game and trying to get rid of the ball out of my hands quick and feed my playmakers has probably been the biggest learning curve for me. So, I work every day to try and get the ball fast to those guys because that's the job of the quarterback. The job of the quarterback isn't to be pretty and run around and dance. The job is the quarterback to be a point guard and distribute the ball to the playmakers.
Yeah. What do you think about all these over-the-wall catches by the receivers and then just laying
I love it. I love it. It's so awesome. It's so cool. It's even better than a toe tap, a Tony toe tap, or whatever you want to call it. It's so fun, seeing those guys go over the boards and come up with, hoisting the ball in the air. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's so much fun. Tell us about playing for Coach Arbette. You're one of the greatest coaches of all time, maybe the greatest coach of all time, in my opinion. What's it like been playing for him?
Oh, he expects a lot from us. And, I think it's great for our team because we've got a lot of talented dudes on our team. Mm-hmm. And so he expects a lot from us, but he's just a great guy. He loves us he loves us a lot. And he cares about us, and he wants to win a championship just like we do. And he knows what it takes to get there. So we're just trusting him and trusting the process of it.
Yeah, 4 championships in San Jose. He knows all about it.
That's right. Now we got to get one for him with the Nashville Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So y'all are sitting 3-3 right now. Kind of favorable schedule on the way out. You got Corpus twice, Oregon, and then Billings. How do you feel about where the team's at right now?
I think we're locked in. I think we're ready to go. I think we got a lot of good players that know what they're doing. I think me and the receivers are starting to get on the same page. So it's been really good. I've been really gelling with these guys too. So I think we're only getting better. Every week it's people say I'm a rookie, and I'll take that. Because I'm learning every day, learning the little intricacies of the game. So I think I'm getting better every day, and I know our team is getting better every day, learning from Coach Arbette. So
yeah, got to go get that 2 seed.
Come on now. Hey, we got a good shot. I know Southwest is a great team, and those other teams that are in the hunt, Billings and Salina and Oregon, and all of them are great teams. But we control our own destiny, and we got to take care of business. And I think we can. I think we got the team to do it. We just got to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great battle to the finish. Let's talk about Albany there a couple weeks ago. You all played a great first half, and things kind of unraveled a little bit in the second half. What do you think kind of led to that, and what do you got to do as you kind of push forward to hopefully getting another rematch with him again?
Yeah, I think it's playing 4 quarters. Coach Arbette says it all the time. We got to play 4 quarters, and I really think against Albany we played 3 quarters, and that third quarter really killed us, and we got to be better than that as a team. So I really think we got to come out. We got to learn from that loss. We got to learn from that loss. And my OC, Coach Anthony Payton, goes, hey, you got to go through it to get through it. So we got to go through it to get through it. We went through that. We went through the bumps, and now we know that, we got to do better than that. And I think, we're learning and growing, and, when you lose those games, you learn a lot more than if you win them.
Yeah, Hopefully you'll get another shot there again.
Exactly. I'm ready. I want. Hey, Sam Casanova is my guy, so I would love to go see him again.
Yeah. He's an amazing quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I learned a lot from him.
Yeah. Let's talk about the kind of this in the city of Nashville itself. What's it been like? Vibrant city. A lot of people's moving there. What's it just been like living there? And you got to explore a little bit around the city.
Yeah, it's beautiful over there. The scenery is beautiful. Hills, stuff like that is really nice. And then obviously the city, the Optimus Prime building, it's pretty sweet. I'm not even a big country guy myself, but I'm starting to fall in love with, I'm starting to like country a little bit more now being in Nashville and stuff like that. It's awesome, man. The city's really cool. I got to go to a Nashville Predators game. They love hockey over there, so it's awesome.
Yeah, the Predators atmosphere is like you never see anything you ever seen. So that's,
oh my gosh, it's so cool. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about kind of your ownership group. Jeff Fisher was your co-owner. You got a couple of celebrity owners, and you also brought in John Gruden recently. Have you met Gruden yet? And are you going to do a quarterback camp segment with him?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how cool that would be. I have not met him yet. I'm really hoping to meet him here soon. Hopefully, we can get him to a game, and I would love to do a QB club session. That'd be so cool. I've watched that ever since I was, in high school, dreaming of being one of the big time guys. So hopefully, we could set that up. I've talked to Jeff Fisher a few times. He's a great guy, just really down to earth, awesome. Just a loving guy. Really cares about this league and our team. So he's a great guy. And then man, got to meet John Gruden. Hopefully, he can get me in that QB club. That'd be a really, really cool experience to learn from that man.
Yeah, he's hard on those quarterbacks. You think you can take it?
Come on now. Of course. I love taking coaching. I love taking coaching. Teach me. I want to learn from someone like that, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. What are y'all doing kind of to prepare for Oregon this week? What's the preparation been like this week?
We hit it really hard, actually. Our team, we got to bounce back after that loss, and we got to come out and handle business and play our game. So we hit it really hard this week. Did a lot of good things in practice, focused on the little details within the game of being perfect. And that's at the end of the day, that's the great thing about football. That's what I love about football. You're never going to be perfect, but you strive for perfection every day, and that's how you become great.
Absolutely. Do you want that rematch with Albany in the championship game? What does your team got to do to get better to get there?
I really think it's doing the little things. Like I just said, we need to focus on the little things of the game. I think we're very talented. We got a great O-line. We got a great D-line. We got DBs. Our receivers are great. I got a great supporting cast for me. We got a really good team. It's just doing the little things right. The little mistakes mean so much in those big games. And so, now we're in the middle of a playoff hunt and a playoff race, and we got to go get that 2 seed. We got to put ourselves in good position to go play Albany in the championship. And, to do that, we have to just go take care of business. We have to focus on the little things in practice and be 100%, and strive for that perfection.
Kind of zooming out a little bit, what's the goal for your football career?
My goal is to try and get to the NFL, the CFL, the UFL. I'm hoping for that shot, man. I played in Japan, and it was awesome. And, I led the league in passing for 2 years, and it was a great time, and I loved it. But I came back to America for one goal, try and get to the UFL, try and get a chance to the CFL, and to get that shot. And so I'm really hoping that, going to win a championship for the Nashville Cats will give me that shot.
Yeah, you're on your way to get there. So
Yes, sir. You know it.
Yeah. Last question for you, man. Where can fans find you on social media? I know you're pretty active there.
At TColka17. Come find me. The Colcomanian. But yeah, no, at Tyler Colka17. Come find me.
Yeah. Great to talk to you, man. Best of luck this week against Oregon, and hopefully we'll see you in the championship game against Albany again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the time tonight, man. Okay, that is Nashville Cats quarterback Tyler Kolka. We're going to do a few plays here before we get out of here. We got 4 games this weekend. The Cats take on Oregon. We're going to take the Cats minus 12.5. I think they'll win that game for probably about 21, 24 points, if not more. And then Firebirds we got Firebirds minus 18.5 versus Corpus. I don't think there's a line on that game that's big enough for not to take. I think Albany wins that game probably by 40 or 50. A little bit better Corpus team than what they played before, but Albany wins that game by probably about 40 to 50. Big game this week, probably the best game of the week, Salina and Billings. We're going to take Salina minus 3.5. versus Billings. I really think Salina has a good chance to win out. Playing really well right now. Went to Albany and almost won that game. So they're playing really well right now. And I think they take care of Billings this weekend, probably by about a touchdown. And then the last game, Southwest Kansas, Washington. We're going to take Southwest Kansas minus 18.5. They'll easily beat Washington, probably by about 30 points. So that's our plays for the week. Big weekend this weekend. Salina, Billings, probably the game of the week this weekend. So it's going to be a big weekend of football. Look forward to watching it. Thanks for joining us, and appreciate Nashville Cats quarterback Tyler Kulka. Appreciate the time tonight. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.